In today's video, I'm going to show you how you can add wildcards to common Excel functions to make your formulas much more powerful. In this example here, I've got customer name, product ID, and sales. And I'm going to start with a VLOOKUP. I'm going to look up a customer name, but I'm not going to fill in the customer name entirely. Instead, what I'm going to do is, for my lookup value, I'm going to type in John space S, and now add an asterisk as my wildcard. So that's going to be my lookup value. And so anything that starts with John S is going to be a match. This asterisk basically tells the formula, tells the function that it doesn't matter what comes after as long as it starts with John S. If I put the asterisk in front, then I could say the beginning doesn't matter either. But I'm putting it at the end to say the ending doesn't matter. So that's my lookup value. And for the table, I'm setting this up exactly as I would do a normal VLOOKUP, where I select my table range, and the column index number is going to be the third column. I'm going to pull in the sales amount. The range lookup can still be false, an exact match. And as you can see, I've got 125.5. Now, if I typed in Michael Lee, let's say I did Michael L. Same thing, 98.4. It gets me the same result as if I were to type in the full name. So that's the benefit of using a wildcard. With VLOOKUP, we just add that asterisk in there. Now, what you could do is, let's say we've got a lookup field here, our lookup value here, Michael L. Right? I want to avoid hard coding when I can. And so I'm going to erase this, and I'm still going to put the asterisk in quotes. But what I'm going to do is reference this cell and now use my ampersand to connect this. And now it's going to work. And now it's going to be a bit more dynamic because now I can type in David W, right? It's going to do all these lookups for me, and CC. So it does these lookups, and it's still linked to a cell, but I'm adding that asterisk to say anything after the C is going to be a valid match. So that's how we do it in VLOOKUP. Now I'm going to show you how to do it in XLOOKUP just because it's slightly different here, and it's one function that's a bit odd in how it uses wildcards. So with XLOOKUP, we still specify the lookup value, and I can set it up the exact same way. I'll use the ampersand and use the asterisk there. And now for my lookup array, specifying column A, and this time returning column C. It's a lot cleaner to set up than VLOOKUP because I'm just selecting the lookup range and the return array. But if I were just to close it out right now, it's not going to return a value. And the reason is you actually have to specify in the XLOOKUP function, when we go to this match mode function, there's an option here to specify a wildcard character match. So you actually have to set this to a value of 2. And now when I do this, now it's using that wildcard properly. So that's just one thing to watch out for if you're using XLOOKUP. Most of the other functions in Excel, from what I can see, follow the same sort of pattern as with VLOOKUP, where you can just add the asterisk in there. You don't have to specify any certain settings. So that's just the nuance with XLOOKUP that you'll want to watch out for. Next, let's do a summation for anybody whose last name is Johnson. So I've got multiple Johnsons here. I've got Sarah Johnson, I've got Megan Johnson, and I've got Anthony Johnson down here. So for the SUMIF function, I'm going to specify my range again. For the criteria, I'm going to add an asterisk at the beginning this time and say anything that ends in Johnson. But what if I have a trailing space? So I'll add another asterisk at the end. So as long as the name contains Johnson, I'm going to say sum it up. And then for the sum range, and I want to actually close these quotes to make sure that I've got my criteria within the quotes. Otherwise, it's going to give me an error. And then my sum range, I'm going to select the sales again. And now that gets me 419.25. So it's adding up these values. So for Sarah Johnson, Megan Johnson, and then Anthony Johnson, that adds up to 419.25. So that is the correct value in here. Next, I'm going to show you a way where you can use the question mark wildcard. So rather than using an asterisk, you can use a question mark. And this is if you know exactly how many characters your string is going to contain. So a good example here is this product ID. So I've got product 100, 101, and so on. So it's always the same number of characters. So let's say I want to add up all the product IDs that begin with 11. So I know it's going to be PRD-11 and then a number afterwards. So in this example, what I can do is use the SUMIF function, specify my range. But now for my criteria, it's going to be a little bit different. I'll type in PRD-11, and now I'll add the question mark. Close this, sum that up, and now I get 174860. So what values is it adding up here? So anything that starts with 1 1 and has that last value unknown here, 1 1 starting with 1 1, we've got 174860. So that's a match with what I've got there. So what it's doing is the benefit of using the question mark is it's only going to replace one character. If I put an asterisk, then the danger is if there's more than just one character afterwards, it's going to include that as well. But just putting one question mark, I'm specifying there's only one potential character that could be in there. So don't include values that have more than one additional character. And so this can be useful if you know exactly how long the string should be, or if you don't want to include values that are potentially longer. However, if I know my values are not going to be longer, I can just really replace this with an asterisk as well, and I'll get the same result, 174860. The difference would be is, let's say I've got 1 1 1 1. Let's say this one goes to 4 characters. So I've still got 174860 here, but now if I change this to a question mark, now it's going to be different because now it's excluding this one value because this value has two extra characters, whereas I'm only looking for one additional one. So that's the main situation where you'd want to use a question mark instead of an asterisk. But as you can see, it's really flexible to add in these wildcards into your Excel functions. It's just a matter of positioning where you want to put them to ensure that you're looking at either the beginning and or middle of a string, to specify exactly what you're looking for. So that's all for this video. I hope you did like it and learn something. If you did, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.